Well, we do fix the cam issue. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to some more action on the Vision Gaming channel, even though it's not Vision Gaming this time, but it's a very important matchup, a best of 7 in that regard. I myself am Kiki, and I'm joined to the, actually, left side, I think left side, right side, any side, actually, right side of me, by Deramas. Hello, Deramas, how you doing, man?
Hello guys, hello Kiki, and yeah, we've had plenty of technical difficulties before this build-up. That's on me. My microphone's doing some wild stuff tonight, and I have no idea why. But yeah, it's a relegation showdown here, Kiki, where we have Dive, who have been performing pretty terribly up against EGZ.
Yeah, and you know, you still have to say the difference between these two teams is still high, regardless of the fact that Dive is like bottom of the leaderboard and you have EliteGamerZone who are top of the leaderboard. In terms of, well, not bottom leaderboard, but like 7th. So you're still having a very like rough time even matching up against a team that's a whole division above you, because the MMR difference is around 400 if I'm not mistaken, averaging around 16 to 1700 for EGZ compared to Dive's 2k. So it's still going to be a rough matchup for EGZ if they want to promote themselves here, I'd say, Deramas.
Yeah, it's not going to be an easy task for them, right? It's an underdog story of the ages. You got Division 2 up against Division 1's 7th place. And yeah, I mean, Dive just haven't really performed at all this season, it has to be said. Like, it was a bit lackluster, and I don't know what was going on behind the scenes there, Kiki.
Yeah, and some of the easier games that they should have even won, they kind of, you know, dropped the ball there and kind of started lacking. So that's kind of the thing that you're expecting from them. You're expecting them to kind of lock in now and finally come back into it and have a proper way to say, hey, we are still here, we still want to compete in the upper echelon of the actual competition and be there in the Premium Division. So yeah, IGL, as we know, we had quite a rough start in terms of Dive, but you know, VG was second, so that's all we care about in general. VG did a good job, ended up second place, very prominent, and you do have Ladies First grabbing the bomb spot and Dive needing to play to remain in the top division. So thoughts on that in terms of them only grasping one win in their final game to actually keep them from that automatic demotion? What do we think about that?
It's poor. It is poor. You can only describe it as that, right? They shouldn't be there. Last split, they were in playoff contention. They had 4. I think they finished 3rd. I'm pretty sure that or 2nd. They did really well last split, and now they're in 7th. Now, could this mean that, you know, Nos just didn't have his head in the game? He was planning on leaving the IGL anyway, like beforehand maybe. Like there were some deciding factors for Dive here that really showed the difficulty of their performance. Nos and NJ have been playing together for 2 years. There's a lot of dynamic, but if Nos' head wasn't in that, then is this an expected performance for them?
Yeah, well, you are looking at a very kind of, I don't want to say motivated, but definitely a team with momentum in terms of EGZ. If we go over to their stats real quick in the lower division, we will see that they have performed quite well in terms of our sister roster, who almost got that promotion spot for themselves as well, but just kind of lost it. Oh, we're on the stats. Okay, it's fine. I thought we had a second table. My bad. I thought we had the second table. Okay, we might do. We do. Okay, beautiful. Right. So here's the second table. You can see our sister, aka Academy team in Sonic, Vision Gaming Sonic, who are actually only 2 games off of first place, and both of those 2 losses, I believe, came from EGZ, if I'm not mistaken. And it's a bit rough. It's definitely a bit rough. They've lost out a game 5 and a game 4. And, you know, they just have to take a break, and EGZ are the ones that have the chance for the upset. It would have been crazy to see 2 Vision Gaming teams in the same division of the league.
Yeah, it absolutely would, but can I just say how brutal this system is? You've got the top 8 teams. The second team gets the bottom last team. The 8th place team in Tier 1 gets dropped completely. Gone.
Yeah,
off you go.
Gone.
7th place gets a relegation battle with only 1st place in League 2.
True.
It's a very isolated system, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think first place, but this is not my rules, obviously. But I think maybe first place would have been the one to get the automatic promotion, and then second would play the 7th, if you get what I mean. Because ladies first are out. What are we doing? Hosting 7 teams? No, because there's also another way to get through there. I believe it's some sort of a cup, if I'm not mistaken. I've lost the details in a minute, but I will get that research soon. It's some sort of open cup, but let me just go and quickly make sure I get that. You yap while I get the info real quick.
Yeah, so obviously there is your table. You have EliteGamerZone in first, Vision Gamers Sonic second, Flex Tape third, 01 Clan fourth. We're going to give them all a shout out here.
Okay.
Alpha Magronen in fifth. I don't know how my pronunciation for that was. 01 Clan in sixth and Golden Scar seventh. So that was your table lineup, and you could see 7 games played in an 8-team system.
Yeah, 1 each. So besides that, it was some interesting stuff where some teams didn't manage to play out all of their games. So not quite sure what happened there, but there is a promo tournament basically where all teams are eligible to play to get that final spot at the peak of the Ibex Gaming League, and that's going to kind of net you the chance to even win it all, or even go to LAN at your up launch in Bern. So if you do get yourself there in time and actually get the top 4 and then eventually beat out someone in the semifinals, you might have a chance to go to Switzerland, you know. So without that being said, we need to analyze some of these stats as well. I mean, my God, look at those goals per game compared to Dive. I obviously, yes, you gotta say, it's not the same playing in League 1 in terms of the Premier Division and the Open League. So yeah, you're just looking at those goals. Obviously, EGZ, a lot more momentum, a lot more habits of scoring and stuff like that, but we are behind schedule, so we shall be getting into the game very shortly. Daromas, I hope you're ready to take us off.
So here we are then, ladies and gentlemen, Dive Esports versus EGZ. You've got one team dominating League 2 and the other team struggling for any sort of performance in League number 1. 7th place versus first place of Division 2. Here we have it then, ladies and gentlemen, Manfield, where we have David versus Goliath. Can the underdog story take it here, or will we see a standard 4-0 sweep?
Yeah, plenty of chances to kind of capitalize on. It is a best of 7, so it is a marathon, not a sprint. Take your time, take your chances, and please convert them. You don't want to go out on one single missed chance. Both teams' future held in one best of 7. Get us underway.
Lindy then, and Turb with the kickoff. Nos changing their name for this one. The last dance, you sure hope it is. You want to end your career-long run in the Swiss scene to a good end. You want to keep Dive in that top division, right? But Demo's already coming out for the likes of Dive here just to try and get space early, and they've done exactly that. Into the corner it goes, and Sleepy will clear this long. Counter-attack on you. Can Gara get an opener for us? It would be interesting if they can, because we have said that Dive's head will not be in it this series. They want to send them off on a high, but will there be enough momentum for them to take this home?
Yeah, and you're going to have to be asking a lot from Nost as well. The last dance, as the man has said so himself, but it's not going to start off well as EliteGamerZone snatch the first blood.
I'm rooting for them here, Kiki. I absolutely am. I'd love to see a promotion here live on this broadcast. 1-0 to the team of blue of EGZ, and it comes from Gara in the corner, and it's a great start for them. 42 seconds in, we get kickoff number 2 underway.
Oh no, he could look to equalize here swiftly. He will as well. He doesn't forgive those chances, and he's coming around to punish. He is not done yet.
Like a Spanish flamenco there. Double tap clean off the backboard. Had to angle himself quite nicely. 1-1 then. That was very short-lived for EGZ here. And the third kickoff. Hopefully looking for a better one than the last, and they do so. Lindy has this, looks to tap it below Engib. Doesn't find it, so into the corner it'll go.
Nost has another chance here, just drops it away, trying to clear the ball out, buy some time, but Engib has a shot at net. Not gonna quite make it. Great beat by Nost, but with no follow-up, it's gonna not amount to much more, as you do have Engib trying to converse his way around. That's a double commit coming through from Dive Esports, and yeah, well, talking about the name Dive, they do seem to be diving at these challenges, but one time they will get caught out for it and punished, so they have to fix that up before that happens.
Yeah, double commit by EGZ though, to get that one clear. Lindy will have to pick up this piece. We'll have to go for it again. No, Nost left isolated. A pass inside now. Engib Doesn't get there, and that's a deep clear. It's going to rattle off the post. The double tap doesn't find it, but Lindy's there with a quick follow. And the defense of Dive just didn't exist. Turb took way too long. Should have gone for the initial ball. Decided better of it. Left himself very awkward there indeed. 2-1.
And you can definitely see this roster of EGZ hunting for it. They're hungry, they're thirsty for blood, and they do want that promotion. It happens very rarely, especially in formats like this, where the difference between the two divisions is so large, so enormous, but on the back foot is Dive, and that first game will mean a lot, especially as a confidence booster for EGZ.
Sleepy in the midfield will grab the mid boost, but leaves it for Enjib. Enjib off of the ceiling, not much to it there. Sleepy. It's a flip, doesn't really find it. Nost has to fall back here. Garrett tapping it back in the corner. A bit of a midfield battle here in these last 20 seconds or so, but it looks like Dive have got the better of it, but a clear downfield will prevent any sort of attack at the moment, and EGZ will be happy with just holding a 1 goal at the moment. Keep that ball as far away from the net as possible, and maybe even look for a third here.
Seems like a lot to ask for, especially as a Division 2 team. Equalizer looming around the corner, but if EGZ can just hold on, that might be even enough, you know? They have the possession and they play it quite wonderfully. Look, forcing out a double commit from Dive to even try to get the ball back, but that was an unfortunate touch from Sleepy there. And now Nost, he's looking to pounce, he's looking to find the equalizer once more. He won't get the chance quite early. Turb might do so, and Enjib is not close enough to follow that one through. You will have a bit of a wild kind of counterattack where it doesn't amount to much, but you see how Dive are kind of slow to these challenges because they're hesitant. They have that fear factor put inside of them, and you can definitely say that the pressure is mounting.
Looks like Nost isn't warm on the pitch neither. He did get that double tap earlier on, but not really much more said after that. Sleepy will get this. Not enough boost to work with. Owner past the Turb. Turb will try and find a shot. Goes over the bar, followed by Lindy. Good touch, clinical touch there to keep it from being equal. And that's a great challenge by Gara as well. Lindy can turn on this, will turn on this. Pops it up high. Individual bit of brilliance, maybe. No, had to face 2 Dive defenders. And nothing to come of it. Gara now, again, opportunity. Tries to tip it past, but the defense of Dive holding strong at the moment.
Yeah, and, well, you wouldn't be thinking that that was the thing you'll kind of say, you know, Dive holding on, Dive defending. Well, it's all we've been saying so far, and especially considering the fact that it's not them on the approach. They're the ones on the back foot, they're the ones that need to score, and so many mistakes need to start getting punished here by EGZ. Looking to get this counterattack going, not quite. Nost will turn away as Turb takes over possession here, flicks it above one, tries to follow through with a bump, not quite. Gara will be the one to clear it out, and you can definitely see that it's a disciplined EGZ roster as opposed to a bit of a, I wouldn't say lackluster, but maybe there's just a little bit of hope left in this game one here for them as the equalizer is found and Turb is on the scoring end.
Yeah, Turb didn't make it easy though. Ran out of boost, did get that 50 through, so we are all level here, and there were 2 defenders on EGZ looking to get that ball clear. Alas, neither of them got there, but 5th kickoff, plenty of goals already in this opener, and it's whether or not which side wants to clinch this one out. Turb will have an opportunity. Nost takes it away and sends it downfield. Gara will have time on this ball. Not the best touch in the world though. Does get challenged, beats out one, but Turb immediately on that back front. The net's wide open. Yeah, potentially not quite. Good defending by, I think it was Lindy on that back line. A pass inside. It's another 50 goal. This time from Nost. That's 2 to their name now. And with 21 seconds, this is heartbreaking for EGZ in game 1.
Absolutely, and the dunk to finish it off, the cherry on top as well. Nost converting as much as he can and trying to send his team off on a win, and it's definitely needed. It's gonna take a little bit more. Open net, not found. Enjib will be there to correct, and Dive flip the table completely. Double their lead in no time, and kill the hopes of a game 1 victory for EliteGamerZone.
Nost number 1 in goal participation, says Cass, and well, it's almost like a Jan Vipotnik situation at Swansea, top goal scorer of the championship, sat in 19th, well, was in 19th at one point in the championship, but yeah, top goal scorer doesn't mean your defense is any good, as you have let 2 goals in, but game 1 will mathematically go the way of Dive here. And that's the end of that one, but honestly, promising performance by EGZ early on, but is that just a sign of lack of warm-up for Dive Esports?
Yeah, well, plenty of questions to be asked, and yes, you are correct. Dive Esports did not have any sort of warm-up, but I think this game one showed that they kind of needed adjusting to the opponents as well. Like, they couldn't have done this with like zero warm-up. Like, EliteGamerZone were on them, and if they punished them a little bit more, if they came in with a little bit more confidence, I think EGZ could have clinched in game number one very easily. But you can see that as more as the game went on, Dive got a lot more confident, basically, second by second.
Now, this is why I don't agree with this league, right? You gotta finish first to play against 7th place of the league. And to be honest, I feel like they've earned their right to be in League One. Granted, they're struggling against Dive at the minute, but this should be a chance for them to, you know, get that promotion, live life in Division 1. However, they've got to play this match now and struggle through this best of 7 series. And then if they lose this, they play Division 2 again. And if they dominate in Division 2 again, then you're going to have this endless cycle of winning and potentially not even getting to League 1. But we head to Forbidden Temple. Game number 2 is on your screens, and it's a bit of a messy start, but Lindy will have this carried downfield. Look for a double, doesn't find it.
Yeah, great clear. Njib now on the counter-attack, Gara needing to secure that clearance. And as you said, not all hopes are over though. Ladies first, definitely gonna need to join that tournament if they want to try to participate once more in the Premium Division. And that's probably where they will face EGZ. But hold on a minute. Turb is already telling them, yeah, pack your bags, punch a ticket. We're starting off strong in game 2 now.
Yeah, 40 seconds in, it was a quick turnaround by Turb, nabbing that corner boost as well, just starving them of any sort of rotation there. It was 1-0 to Dive. 4 minutes 20 left to go, kick off number 2, and Lindy gonna pop up high here. Njib's already onto that. It's a miss though, and that's gonna find the net straight in by Sleepy. Caught Njib napping on that back line. That is a terrible mistake on the defense, but it works. EGZ will be taking that 100%, absolutely.
Oh yeah, they're not giving up those chances, and Lindy, I believe, popping the ball so high that Njib really needed to reach for it. He wasn't able to, and now with a double kickoff coming through here, Sleepy is going to look to add some more pressure onto the back line, but considering that EGZ were able to play from behind and grab that goal, it's looking like a great look for them. Lindy looking to fake that one there, but nothing comes of it as a 50 does yield onto the field. Sleepy now trying to get that redirect, not quite. Lindy is the one on the ball now. Could be a miss here coming through from Nos, but not quite. He's not going to allow that to happen, especially in one of his final series for the team.
Playing a close second man, EGZ here. And it does put a lot of pressure on your anchored third. As long as they can just keep it tight-knit at the back, when the pressure is against them, I see them honestly taking a game, maybe 2. I'm hoping for a win for them, obviously, but they're gonna have to get this ball clear. The shots rattle the net. Sleepy does send this one away, and Gara will clear that one downfield. Lack of boost for Njib will pick up the 100, and Nos waiting on that sidewalk. Missing the ball again, though. You're seeing these mistakes by Dive, a double commit there. Just communication not being found.
Sleepy looking to get that getaway as soon as possible. Gara trying to get to 50, but Sleepy is looking to apply a bit more pressure. The redirect not found, and it's going to be a simple collection there for Njib. He tries to get to Terra, but it's a bit of an awkward one right now. Gara will have a simple time getting that 50 away. Lindy, oh, beautiful beat there around 1. Trying to continue the action themselves. Gets the bump as well. No follow-up, though. And that's the lacking second man of EGZ. You definitely got to be closer to it if you want to play on some of those bump plays.
I did compliment them for having a close second man, but it was such an awkward play in the midfield. Everyone was all scattered around. There was nothing much they could do about that one. Sleepy then, having a nice bit of attacking pressure here, and the net's wide open. If Gara could turn on it, not quite quick enough. There's a close opportunity there for them, but it's popped up high. Sleepy has to get there, does tap it towards the backboard, and Turb's going to send this back in the mixer. Shot in from Njib. It's 2-1.
Beautiful way to capitalize on Sleepy as well. Gara was also thinking about getting that ball, and that put him in the awkward situation here with no boost to spare as well. No one there to help him out, and Njib had him at his mercy. 2-1 here for Dive Esports, and they are looking to continue this onslaught of goals. But the thing is, we know that EGZ can definitely strike back. They are the underdogs, and they certainly look like it, especially in some of these plays. But you still do think there's definitely a chance. They should not be written off at whatsoever.
I did say this was either going to be a 4-0 or a massive underdog story. Granted, it's only 2-1 at the moment. It could go 2-0 in the series, but what I'm seeing so far from EGZ, they are looking pretty good at holding pressure. It's just when that counter-attack comes through and the quick plays downfield, it catches them off guard a little bit. So if there's something I want to see from EGZ here, it's just to compose your third man. Let them be a bit more anchored. Just keep them back as long as possible. Buy your teammates time, because when something like this happens, you're going to get scored on. That opportunity just wide, though.
Yeah, great control by Sleepy. An infield pass to nobody at the moment. Gara's going to force a 50 out. Maybe going to get a clear touch there, as Enchip does miss out on the challenge. Lindy's going to continue, especially with that demo. Now with a lack of manpower in the back, could they look to do something here? They seem to be a bit out of position to continue this offense, and with that demo from Enjib as well, it's going to relieve the defensive duties of Nost and Thurb here. So you're still looking at a dangerous chance there, but with the man advantage, you're definitely confident you can pull that one through.
That pass inside was for territorial possession, and it worked out well for them. They had an attacking spree for about 35 seconds. Even though it went to no one, it did allow the ball to come forward, and it's a 3v1 here, and they end up bumping each other. No! They're going to have to rotate back quickly, otherwise it would have been 3-1 and the game done. But if that bump didn't come through, there was a clear opportunity. 3v1, you had every chance to knock that one upfield. Sleepy doinking it down, and Turb will get a touch on this one. Lindy will clear this one back. So 20 seconds left. They've got one last chance, an effort upfield. If they can get it down there is the other question. Gara will get a beat on one, but Nost pick up the pieces, sending it downfield. Final 10.
Yeah, no follow-up as well, and that's the most lacking part of this EGZ roster so far. The lack of follow-up, but it might not matter. Gara, final chance, trying to drop it down. But Enjib gets the clearance, and Dive Esports secure themselves a second, although a lot closer than the first one, must be said.
Lack of follow-up. You had two people following that ball there. It was a double clip by EliteGamerZone to push for that ball.
No,
they listened to you immediately, and it, unfortunately, yeah, exactly that. Wasn't enough. Will we see a timeout here? I'm pretty sure timeouts are allowed in this relegation battle.
They are.
And that's an addition, I think, this season for this type of game. So, will we see a timeout? It doesn't look it. All players are ready to go. And we have 35 seconds till the next match, as long as Cass is not going to keep us waiting any long. But yeah, EGZ playing really well. Sorry, Cass.
Shots fired. Shots fired. Production. Okay. Catching strays here for no reason. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Memery now of my face in the next time we pan to our camera. But hey, here we go. Game number 3. We head to, I think it's the FH Stadium.
Correct.
And well, it looks like at the moment, Dive Esports a bit comfortable. They're doing it. They're doing the job they need to do, but it hasn't been comfortable for them at all, especially in that second game, only getting a 1-goal advantage. And I feel like a lot of the pressure was going in the blue half here. So we just need to see conversion from EGZ.
Yeah, but the conversion is not going to definitely come, especially considering you had 2 shots compared to, I believe, 7, if I wrote it down correctly. Maybe not. Maybe it was 8. Maybe my counting was off, but it was definitely 3 times or 4 times less than what Dive put on the board, and you definitely need a bit more in terms of that pressure if you're going to look to put anything forward. And the lack of those follow-ups is necessarily what causes that lack of action. You don't have a second player close enough to act upon your moves, and it's definitely showing here for the side of EGZ.
Is indeed, and they've been picked up by an organization called Swiss Ghost, hence why you're seeing the CHG. That's also good news for them. They will have another organization to go back to in that open tournament. If things don't work out, that's been cleared well downfield. Lindy will have a chance to whip this one back in, but Enjib does well to pick that one up, and Gara will have to fall back here. Enjib looking for a solo play of their own. Doesn't really work out, but that touch not the best. Turbo's an opportunity, backward clear. Great save by Lindy, but the pressure from Dive was looking good, but that long ball clear will allow time for EGZ to pick up boost. Ball kind of in open space at the moment. Lindy pulls the corner, and Turbo with another shot opportunity, and that will not be another 50 goal that we've seen so far.
Yeah, but still keeping up the pressure here. Dive are looking very confident in their plays. Turb gonna start off here. Simple shot to dismantle the defense, and that's gonna be enough. Not quite. A diving save from Sleepy puts it away, and another one from Lindy. EliteGamerZone, stay alive.
It's a brilliant defensive effort by EGZ. But will it continue? This ball is rattling around the blue net. I said that they had good pressure when they clear it long. They just can't get the ball clear at the moment. The boost rotation, that is a tap towards the corner from Gara. They probably didn't want to have. Pass inside, failed, and there's your long clear. And now we can see potentially maybe some attacking motion, as that's a mistake by Turb from EliteGamerZone, but it looks like they're falling back. They're sitting back. They've respected the offensive pressure from Dive, and they're going to need to get some sort of hold on the ball here, because right now, over the past 2 minutes, it's been all Dive.
Absolutely, and there hasn't been a sense of possession here that's showing from EGZ. They're not playing it as well as they should be. They're definitely giving away way too many of these chances. Point in case right there. Gets demoed away as well, and now a chance. There's a shot going towards the net from Lost, but I didn't know if that was a short pass. Regardless, though, was dangerous enough, though. With that demo, could be a 50 following through. Not quite. Gara will look to fake this one out for Lindy. And it seems like EGZ is still looking for a goal. They would definitely like to go ahead first here in game number 3.
Absolutely. That is 10 shots for Dive in just that phase alone, and it was impressive from them, but no conversion at all, so it'll allow some forward opportunity for EliteGamerZone. And it has to be said here, Dive have got the experience of high pressure situations, plenty of them in the past. I feel like maybe that's kind of rubbing off on EGZ. They have the bottle to hold a fight against this Dive side. A carry forward by Gara may put that to bed, but it didn't find the back of the net, and it will be sent back the other way. Great double touch by Lindy.
Yeah, fall through from Sleepy, faked away. Lindy, not enough boost to carry over, neither does Gara as well. Will end up giving it away, and a shot from a counter-attack from Turb lands first. Dive Esports looking alive and well here in their final match of the season.
Well, you had to think all that pressure on you for the span of 3 minutes, it was going to fall apart eventually, but we still have 62 seconds left on the clock. But the shot counter is telling a one-sided story at the moment, and the scoreline, the series score, all one-sided. But you've got to give credit to EGZ. They're fighting hard here. They haven't dipped their heads, but maybe a timeout call needs to be said after this game, because that's going to be 2. Engine will find it after a pass inside.
At this stage, your timeout might be too much. At this stage, you might be saying get it over with, because you should have used it when you were 2 down. 3 down, it's mostly pointless. Getting some of those reverse sweeps in the best of 7, near impossible. I believe there was only 1 recorded in RLCS in the last year, so during the GSL stages in terms of the best of 7, so it's a very rare occurrence, especially considering you're outmatched, you're outgunned, you're nowhere near the favorites, but you still could save some sort of pride if you get a game against the Division 1 team. It could definitely set you up for a potential future in that Division 1 if you do get promoted through that promotional tournament.
Indeed. So they can hold their heads up high here. Granted, 2-0 down with only 10. It looks like this game is done as well. About to be a third as Nos taps that one away. The last dance, indeed, and it's going to be a good one by the looks of it. The 3-0 scoreline in game number 3 is a far reach from the 2-1 scoreline we saw in game number 2. And everything about the stats is telling you the Dive will just carry this forward into the 4th game. And it's so painful for EGZ. They've done the league phase, they've got this far, and now they're getting absolutely wiped off the floor by Dive here in this 3rd game. We head to the 4th, and in my mind, I'm praying that there's at least something for them to take home here. But yeah, the ball will be kept up for formalities, and doesn't find the back of the net for the 4th for Dive, but EGZ, they're down 3-0. What's the call now if you're them? Do you go for that timeout, or do you just firm it completely?
I don't know. I'm not in their shoes, but considering you had 5 shots compared to the 16 of Dive Esports, I think you just let this one slide and you wrap up your season. I mean, you definitely needed a timeout when the games were still close. Well, there was 2-4s on the scoreline. Before that, you were winning till the last 2 seconds when there was 1-2s on the scoreline. And now we will get a timeout. They do call it. Lindy is calling it a timeout, so they will get 2 minutes off the clock. And there we go. Right, so 2 minutes. What are you talking about here? If the fact is you're calling a timeout, that means your defo still in it. And yeah, I was gonna say they have plenty of kind of chances to think about this. About 4 games in a row against Dive Esports. Are we thinking that makes sense? Because I mean, the stats say so, but these are stats from the Open Division. Those are the stats from Division 1. So I don't really know here. You're gonna have to help me out here a bit.
Well, it's gonna be a story old as time, right? If they do manage to come back, reverse sweep this Dive Esports side, they're gonna use this 2 minutes fully to their full extent, right? And they're gonna try and figure out what to do. But like in that last game, how do you analyze that? We were on the back foot for the majority of it. I don't know, man. We just try again, I suppose. We can't really get past this Dive side. We've scored a few, but a few isn't enough. So I'm not entirely sure what their game plan is here from now on. But when you're down on your luck and you've got nothing left to lose, you've called a timeout to gather your team, now is the time where you pick up the pieces, you choose how you want to fight, and you throw everything at it. And I mean everything. You put your heart and your soul into this, because this is road to tier 1.
Alas, though, not all roads will be closed after this, even if you don't put all your eggs in one basket. So you definitely have a chance after this, but you do have a Dive Esports there. What their legacy somewhat restored as well, and it's a great storyline for Nost as well. Kind of getting back into it as a farewell game, kind of looking for that final send-off, and they definitely doing that with a 4-0. You know, it's a good story to make, but you also want to see this EGZ roster fight a bit more.
Sovereign Heights, will this be the highs of Dive as they take a 4-0 victory, or will it be the start of a height for EGZ? We get kickoff underway, and it looks like it's been a neutral ball to get things going. Turbo will have 70 boosts to work with. A failed musty attempt will get this ball clear. Now Gara, if he can play a 50 here, will have an opportunity as Nost doesn't want to do that, doesn't want to put a ball in the back of their own net. That could have been something to write home about, absolutely. But Sleepy will get a 50 here, the ball left, isolated, Turb up, doesn't get the flip reset though, and will fall to the corner. And already lack of boost by EGZ here. This could be threatening from Nost.
And Jib is going to just look to rotate around here and just trying to keep the ball in a dangerous area. He did the correct thing. Gara is able to clear that one out anyway. And you still have a dangerous Dive breathing down your necks. You definitely want to get rid of that position. Nost gets the pass off of Njib. He's looking to follow up with Turb alongside him, but with 2 players in tow, the ball is cleared away, and Gara has a chance at breakaway. Misses out on the boost as Njib does collect it. And you do have still a simple clear from Dive, as opposed to what EGZ do, is a bit more strugglesome affair, I'd like to say.
Njib trying to cause chaos, but that's a 3rd man commit then by Dive, and the counter-attack is on. But again, Turb nabbing that boost will make things a bit more difficult. Pass inside Nost will send that one up and around. Sleepy trying to get something more, but it's a bit of offensive pressure here for EGZ. That's an overcommit though by Lindy. The net's wide open. That's going to be 1-0 to Turb, and it's a simple mistake. When I said you have to throw everything at it, I didn't mean it in the literal sense. You still have to play your game, and that is painful for EGZ.
Yeah, and you are looking at a great season you had. You were number 1 in your Open Division, and you're facing this absolute monster from Dive Esports currently, and you're really realizing what it takes to be in that Premier Division in Ibex Gaming League. And it's going to take a little while, but scoring goals is one place to start. 100% a way to get back into it. And Lindy with a beautiful assist, with an assist from Njib as well, will get Sleepy the goal.
Nost was almost there with that attempted squish. He wasn't quick enough to that ball, but there we are then, 1-1. Come on, boys. I'm rooting for you in the commentary box. We are completely unbiased, but for me, my heart is in EGZ's territory. It's going to be a flip. Lindy's going to be awkward, but that's going to drop down. Sleepy will pinch this one up and around. Turb and Nost double commit, so if this ball can get whipped back in quick time, let's see something, but that's too close post for that. Lindy will carry this. Tries to get a beat on one, tries to get a bump on the other, and Gara, the only one with boost, has to keep it in the offensive half. Does well here. Very impressive to actually maintain that ball, 50 up high. And this is an ambitious move by Sleepy, as there's a lack of boost on the offense now. EGZ, one clear, will sort that out, and there it is, Nost taking it to the back corner, but Lindy will respond quickly. But again, boost management just on a different level at the moment. But right now, it's nice to see that they are having this offensive pressure.
1-1 here, half the game gone, and you're thinking to yourself, if you had that mentality to keep yourself in it after a 3-0 series, you definitely kind of have a chance to compete with the big boys out there. But what it's gonna take is at least taking a game off of them. And then after taking a game, you know, taking a series off of some of them if you want to stay competitive in that Division 1. So you're still looking for that kind of match win to at least get your hopes up that it is possible to beat a Division 1 team. It is possible to beat a Premier Division team. And with that being said, your hopes for the Open tournament are definitely going to stay high.
Lindy hoses downfield. It's sent down by Turb. Engine with a quick response pass inside, but Sleepy's there. Still a bit lackluster in the defense of EGZ, and there it is. Nost getting a second with a minute 36 left to go. They're riding high. And it was just a standard challenge that allowed that one to go in. Sleepy had no boost to recover.
Yeah, and Nost finding that goal, iconic as well, but you still are loving to see it. You still are loving to see that, you know, sucker for storyline type covers. And Nost with his final dance here delivering for his team over and over again alongside his comrades, who, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure on the future of Ida, especially not Njibs. So I will look to get some info on that. Crossbar found, but there is a chance at counterattack though regardless. Turb able to get that 50. Gara, unfortunate, not able to get the ball here. Turb looking infield for a potential pass, chooses the shot over it, and now he could be punished for it. Lindy with a wizard flick as well! Open net to look at! And EGZ are not written off yet!
How from their own goal line to the corner beats out Nost. That is brilliant stuff by Lindy. Gets that was just a clean shot by Turb, gone the complete other way. There was no real progression from that. Lindy, brilliant stuff, and we're back to 2-2, but it looks like Njib could try and find a double tap here. It's a pass inside, and that's brilliant stuff as a response by Dive. Turb gets the third goal, and it was very short-lived. But EGZ, once again, they seem to get a goal and concede immediately after it.
Yeah, Lindy definitely to be commended as well, at least. The highest player in terms of MMR on that said roster might even look to get picked up. You never know. Sometimes, if teams don't make the promotion their own way, they're just gonna get, you know, picked apart by these Premier Division teams into their rosters or even their academy rosters. If they are to be. Njib, great pass down to Turb. Turb looking for that shot. And it seems like one of the final nails into the coffin it goes. Dive Esports up to 4-2 over EliteGamerZone.
Still 35 seconds. There's still a glimmer of hope, but it all depends how this kickoff happens. Now Lindy will get a 50 with Nost, and that will pop up nicely for Gara. Flicked up past one. This could be an opportunity, potentially a potential chance, but Nost will get that clear, and this time keeps ticking down. It looks like it could be a dive result. That is a missed shot by Lindy. It was an opportunity not taken, and it looks like goal number 5 will go the way of Turb, and I'm calling it now. Dive Esports have secured this spot in the Premier Division. All thanks to Turb here for this 5th goal. 4 goals scored in this game alone.
Definitely a statement, you know, one of the OG players in the Swiss scene alongside that dive roster, including Nost, and you do have that kind of sense of passing the torch in case you are Nost here, and it's quite sentimental for him, and it's nice that they do end it on a very, very big high in terms of at least staying alive in the Premier Division, and Nost will be very happy to send his team to the Premier Division. He doesn't even want this game to end. He wants to stay as long as possible in the competitive lobby just to be alongside his comrades there. But in terms of the storyline, it has finished for him, and Dive Esports return to the Premier Division.
So it is 4-0 to Dive Esports. Relegation worries gone. They will head to another Premier League for the IGL. Now, EGZ, they can hold their heads up high. Absolutely, they can. And as Kiki's putting in the chat, open Tony around the corner. We could very well see them still in the Premier League. I keep calling it the Premier League. In Tier 1. They're going to kill me if I keep calling it the Premier League. But yeah, honestly, I'm quite impressed with how EGZ have played, but all credit to Dive for securing this spot. We're going to take a short break now, and we will have Nost for you. One final send-off, one final interview in the commentary box. We'll be back shortly. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, and we do have Nost in the commentary booth for you now. And well, it was an absolutely fantastic performance for Dive here to keep them in Tier 1. And Nost, tell me how the game went, how you felt about it.
For me, especially, I guess it was a little bit easy because we don't have to be on this spot. I mean, we tried to play a little bit more chill because even it was my last time with Dive. And yeah, to be honest, we don't have to be on the 7th place. We was. That's it.
Yeah, very fair enough.
Yeah.
There was no warm-up in the forthcoming game. Was that just confidence, or was that part of keeping it chill as well?
Chill. It was only the chill, yeah.
Chill. Right. Okay, so it's just a pretty relaxed interview, to be fair. We've usually had laughs and stuff like that. But with, obviously, that was your last time with Dive. And I think, yeah, what are your plans for the future heading forward? What have you got set looking forward now? Potential RLCS, maybe?
Yeah, so for the RLCS, I will keep going. I will try with people, and I will see what I can do. But for the Swiss tournaments, like Ibex or something, Switzerland maybe, I will try to keep going too with Swiss teams. Maybe play again with Turb or NG if they do the Switzerland or something like that. We will see.
I just read something from Engib. He told us to speak as fast as possible so that you don't understand everything. So does that sort of jokes and love from your teammates come often as well? Like, is that sort of the vibe you guys have there? Is it hard, like, you know, going away from that and retiring in terms of like not being able to do as much bantering as previously?
Not that hard, I guess. I think about it for a long time. But yeah, for me, I keep Dive, Turb, Engib, and all these people in my head. Like it's not a real end. Okay, we like the sound that. Now, before we do close off the interview, is there anything you would like to say to your fans, to your teammates, to anyone at Dive or anything? Be sure to use any sort of language you want, French, English, it doesn't really matter. So is there anything you would like to say? I can say it in French. So.
You can say it in French, yes, you're allowed to say it in French.
Bah, je voulais remercier Dive, Turb, Engib, tous les gens comme ça autour pour la confiance qu'ils m'ont donnée. Pour ce parcours aussi, 2 ans dans la même équipe, c'est pas rien non plus. On a passé des bons moments, les premières LAN, les premiers tournois suisses aussi. Et non, franchement j'ai bien aimé, c'était une bonne aventure et on va continuer à se donner le haut à fond, que ce soit au niveau RLCS, même pour la scène suisse, on va continuer et on va essayer de trouver des gens, de continuer à participer dans ces tournois suisses parce que vraiment l'ambiance elle est géniale et puis voilà.
Thank you, Nost. No, I was away.
He was there.
Yeah. Thank you, Nost. Honestly, been a pleasure to watch you play throughout the seasons gone by as well. So good luck with your journey, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you, guys.
Well, there you have it, folks. That was from Nost as well, the beautiful man of Dive Esports, one of the pillars of Swiss Rocket League as well, and his future is still undetermined, where you may still see him in some other competitions, as he said, but so far, that does wrap up the promotion game here, Daramus, and that does wrap up Nost's journey as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel a bit emotional, you know. So it's a bit of power in that French voice. When we started speaking there, and I understood none of it. I still got a bit emotional.
Language 0, understanding 100.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's the end of the relegation battle, and well, it was an entertaining one, and we've already said what we need to say. And Kiki, is there any final regards you've got here for us before we close the broadcast?
Well, I'll just, you know, it's been me, myself, Kiki, and I, you know, in terms of everything. No, I'm joking. Daramus alongside me in the booth, absolutely delivering all the action. That might be one of the final streams for this split from Vision Gaming. We will be sure to keep you informed on all our socials, Vision Gaming CH, so please be sure to check them out. I've been Kiki, this has been Daramus. In the back, you had Sailing with all the production and the fancy details. We'd like to thank you all for watching. You've been an absolute banger of a crowd, and we'll see you all next time.